The ball thudded against the cracked driveway like a fist to my gut. Each bounce a reminder that nothing in my life hit the mark anymore. Dad's truck had peeled out 2 weeks ago. Tires screeching secrets I wasn't ready to unpack. Leaving Mom buried in casseroles from pitying neighbors and me slamming shots at dusk to drown out the silence. Then, over the sagging chain-link fence that separated our rundown ranch house from the neat craftsman next door, a shadow shifted lean. Unexpected and a voice sliced through the humid Alabama air. "Hey, Wyatt. You always play like the hoop owes you money." I froze. Mid-spin. The basketball slipping from my sweat-slick fingers to roll lazily toward the grass. It was him, Alex Harper. The new guy who'd moved in last summer. The one whose bedroom light flickered like Morse code through the blinds at night. 19. A year ahead of me in the mess of community college credits. With that effortless slouch and blonde hair that caught the dying sun like it was made for it. He leaned on the fence, arms crossed over a faded Pearl Jam tee. His blue eyes crinkling at the corners in a way that made my chest tighten. Like he'd caught me doing something more private than just shooting hoops alone. Only when it does. I shot back, forcing a grin as I scooped up the ball, my heart hammering harder than it should. Heat flushed my neck, part exertion, part something sharper. Unnamed Dan, I bounced it once. Twice. Buying time. Alex wasn't like the other guys from the neighborhood. The ones who slapped backs and cracked beers on tailgates. Oblivious to the undercurrents that kept me up at night. He vaulted the fence with the grace of someone who'd grown up chasing waves in California before his folks dragged him to this Bible Belt backwater. Figured you could use a real challenge. Mind if I join? Before I could nod, he was there, snatching the ball midair like it was his all along, his fingers brushing mine in a spark that lingered too long. We played then, under the lengthening shadows of the live oaks, the rhythm of dribbles and sneakers scuffing concrete syncing with my pulse. He was damn good faking left and sinking a jumper that swished clean. His laugh low and genuine when I fouled him hard. Our bodies colliding in a tangle of limbs and shared breath. "You're ruthless, man," he gasped, rubbing his side but not pulling away, his gaze locking on mine with an intensity that made the world tilt. By the time the fireflies blinked on, we were sprawled on the warm pavement, backs against the garage door. Gatorade sweating in our hands from the cooler Mom had stocked out of habit. The air hummed with crickets and the faint twang of country radio from a distant yard. But between us, it was quieter, charged. "So, what's the story?" Alex asked, tilting his head, that easy curiosity peeling back layers I kept buried. "You out here every night like you're fighting demons." "Dad stuff." I stared at the ball between my knees, tracing the pebbled lines with my thumb. Honesty clawed up my throat, Dad's abrupt exit. The whispers about irreconcilable differences that really meant Mom finding his phone full of texts from some woman in mobile. The way it had cracked our family like a fault line. But more than that, the isolation. The secrets I'd carried since freshman year. Watching guys in the locker room with a hunger I couldn't voice. "Yeah," I muttered, voice rough. "Feels like the game's rigged sometimes. You know." Alex nodded slow, his knee bumping my not accidental. Or maybe it was. But neither of us moved. "Tell me about it. My old man shipped me here after." "Well, let's just say California beaches don't fix everything." His words hung, laced with a shadow I recognized. the kind that came from loving in ways this town didn't forgive. We talked then, words tumbling like loose change about his surfboard gathering dust in the garage. My stalled dreams of a scholarship that felt further away than ever. The raw ache of feeling like an outsider in your own skin. His laugh pulled more out of me than therapy ever had. And when our shoulders touched, solid and warm, something shifted. A door creaking open in the dark. That night, as he hopped the fence back home, he called over his shoulder. Rematch tomorrow. Loser buys pizza. I watched him go, the porch light catching the curve of his neck. And for the first time in weeks, the emptiness receded, replaced by a flicker hope, or maybe fear, or the dangerous thrill of both. The next afternoon, the sun baked the asphalt into a skillet. But I was out there early, ball in hand, nerves jangling like loose wires. Mom had eyed me funny over breakfast, her smile brittle as she stirred oatmeal neither of us wanted. Making friends. Wyatt. That's good. After your father. She trailed off, the unspoken weight of abandonment pressing down. I mumbled something about the Harpers being decent. But inside, my mind replayed Alex's grin. The way his eyes had lingered last night. Searching. He showed up right on time. This time in cut-off shorts that showed the tan lines from board shorts. A water bottle dangling from his fingers. Ready to lose. He teased, stealing the ball before I could answer. Our game picking up where it left off fiercer. Faster. Laced with banter that edged toward flirtation. A shoulder check here. A playful shove there. Each contact sending jolts through me. Awakening parts I'd kept locked down. Sweat soaked our shirts, plastering them to skin. And when I blocked his layup, our chests collided. Breaths mingling hot and ragged. Time suspended. His face inches from mine. Lips parted. And for a heartbeat, I swore he leaned in. We broke apart laughing. But the air crackled after that. Every glance loaded. Collapsing onto the grass this time. Hidden from the street by the fence. We shared slices from the pizza joint down the road, pepperoni dripping grease. Cheese stretching like secrets between bites. You ever think about getting out of here? Alex asked, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. His voice low. This town's got its claws in deep. All the time, I admitted, staring at the clouds drifting lazy over the pines. Basketball was supposed to be my ticket. D1 scout sniffing around junior year, but after Dad bailed, it all feels pointless. The vulnerability slipped out unbidden, and shame prickled. But Alex just shifted closer, his arm brushing mine. Steady. Pointless. Nah. You're the real deal. Wyatt. I saw it the second I hopped that fence. His words wrapped around me, warm as the fading sun. And when he turned, propping on an elbow, his eyes held mind-blue depths pulling me under. What if we made our own rules? Screw the scouts, the dads, the whole damn playbook. My throat went dry, pulse thundering. The space between us shrank, his breath ghosting my cheek. And then God. Then his lips brushed mine. Tentative. Testing. It was soft at first. A question. Then deepening as I answered. Hand fisting in his shirt. The world exploding in salt and heat, and the wild certainty that this was right. Against every lesson this town had hammered home. We pulled back gasping. foreheads touching, grins breaking wide. Game over, he whispered, and I laughed. The sound free, alive. But as the stars pricked the sky, reality crept back the fence between our houses, a flimsy barrier to the storms brewing. Mom's car pulled into the drive, headlights sweeping us apart, and Alex squeezed my hand once, fierce, before vanishing into the shadows. I sat there long after, tasting him, wondering if one kiss could rewrite the rules, or if it had just lit the fuse. The days blurred into a rhythm that felt stolen. Ours alone. Dawn runs through the misty neighborhood trails where our footsteps synced like heartbeats. Stolen glances over backyard fences that said more than words ever could. Alex became my anchor, his texts lighting up my phone at odd hours. Missed that hook shot in my dreams. Rematch. I'd sneak out after Mom crashed early, her wine glass a nightly ritual to numb the edges of loss. And we'd meet under the old magnolia tree at the lot's edge, its blooms shedding petals like confetti for our whispered plans. He opened up slow, layers peeling like sunburnt paint. California hadn't been paradise. His coming out at 17 had shattered his conservative surftown family. Dad's rage a tidal wave that washed him east to his aunt's reluctant doorstep. Felt like drowning. He confessed one night, our backs against the rough bark, knees touching. Fireflies danced around us, mirroring the sparks in his eyes. But here, with you, it's like catching that perfect wave. My story spilled and returned the confusion starting in middle school. Locker room crushes dismissed as bro stuff. The terror of Dad finding out twisting my gut. He always said real men don't. I trailed off. The words acid. But Alex's hand found mine in the dark, thumb stroking knuckles. And for the first time, the shame loosened its grip. We kissed again under that tree. Hungrier. Hands roaming tentative paths over shirts and skin, mapping territories neither of us had dared claim. It was electric, vulnerable, a rebellion wrapped in tenderness that made my chest ache with something pure. Yet the world outside our bubble pressed in. At the local diner where I slung burgers for gas money, Jake, my old high school buddy, cornered me by the fryers. Heard you're tight with the Cali boy now. What's his deal? Looks at you funny. His tone was casual, but the edge sliced small-town code for suspicion. I shrugged it off, heart pounding, but the seed of fear took root. Mom noticed too, her eyes sharpening over dinner, the casserole congealing untouched. That Harper kid seems intense. Be careful, Wyatt. Folks talk. I nodded, throat tight, but inside, resolve hardened. Alex and I pushed boundaries late night drives in his beat-up Jeep. Windows down, wind whipping our hair as Springsteen blared about Born to Run dreams. We'd park at the quarry's edge, stars sprawling overhead like spilled diamonds, and lose ourselves in each other. His touch was reverent, fingers tracing my collarbone, lips murmuring my name like a prayer. You're beautiful, he'd say, voice husky, and I'd believe him, body arching into the truth of it, the romance blooming fierce and fragile. But fragility cracked under pressure. One evening, as we shot around in the driveway, laughter echoing, headlights pierced the dusk. Dad's truck, back unannounced, gravel crunching like bones. He climbed out, gaunt and hollow-eyed, reeking of regret and cheap bourbon. "Wyatt," he barked, eyes narrowing at Alex mid-dribble. "Who's this?" Time froze. Alex stiffened, ball slipping, while I stepped forward, shield and sword. "Neighbor. Friend." The word tasted like ash. Dad's gaze raked us, suspicion flaring. "Looks cozy. Don't need more trouble in this family." His words landed like punches, dredging up old wounds, the hypocrisy of his own failures now weaponized against me. Alex's hand brushed my back. Silent support. But Dad's glare lingered, promising fallout. He left as abruptly as he'd come, muttering about sorting things. But the damage lingered. That night, alone in my room, phone dark, doubt clawed in. What if Dad spilled to the wrong ears? What if Thysis cost everything? Alex texted at midnight, "You okay?" I stared at the screen, fingers hovering. The K-drama of our secret love teetering on exposure's brink. Exposure's shadow stretched long, turning every glance into a risk, every touch a gamble. I dodged Dad's sporadic check-ins, his calls slurred with apologies that rang false. But the real storm brewed closer to home. Church on Sundays, Mom's anchor since the split became a minefield. Pastor Hale's sermons on traditional values hit harder now, his voice booming about abominations while I sat rigid in the pew. Alex, too, rose back with his aunt, our eyes meeting in fleeting defiance. We adapted, our romance going underground like roots seeking water. Notes slipped into mailboxes. "Meet me at the river. 10 p.m. Bring that smile." I'd slip out, heart racing, to the lazy bend of the Alabama where willows wept into the current. There, under moonlight silvering the water, we'd strip to our skins and wade in, the cool rush shocking away the day's weight. His body against mine was a revelation, strong lines and soft curves of muscle, scars from wipeouts telling stories his words skimmed. We'd float, limbs entwined, kisses tasting of river and relief, whispers weaving futures, road trips to New Orleans, apartments in Atlanta where we could breathe free. "You're my escape," I told him once, head on his chest, the steady thump of his heart my lullaby. He chuckled soft, fingers carding through my damp hair. "Nah, we're each other's revolution." The romance swelled, poetic in its intensity, stolen sunsets where he'd sketch me on napkins, capturing the curve of my jaw with pencil strokes that made me blush. Mixtapes dubbed from his vinyl collection, songs of longing that played on loop in my truck. But Kitsch 10 escalated when Jake ambushed us at the county fair. Midway lights garish against the night, cotton candy air thick. He swaggered up, beer in hand, buddies trailing like hyenas. "Harper. Wyatt. Arm wrestling. Losers." His grin was wolfish, eyes darting between us. We played along, the picnic table creaking under our grips, Alex's forearm flexing as he pinned Jake easy, cheers erupting. But as we walked away, Jake's voice cut low. "Saw you two at the quarry. Real close. What's that about?" Ice flooded my veins. Alex's face paled, but he laughed it off, just cooling off. "Man," and pulled me into the Ferris wheel line, his grip bruising. Up in the swaying car, city lights sprawling below like fallen stars. Panic crested, He knows. I whispered, voice breaking. Alex cupped my face, thumbs brushing tears I hadn't realized fell. Then we face it. Together. I love you, Wyatt. That's not changing. Love. The word hung. Profound. Shifting everything. I kissed him fierce. The wheel grinding to a halt at the top. World suspended. But descent brought reality. Jake's crew waiting below. Murmurs rippling. We pushed through. Shoulders squared. But the whispers followed home. Mom confronted me that night. Her face etched with worry. A church pamphlet clutched like a shield. People are talking. Wyatt. About you and that boy. Is it? Her voice cracked. Love warring with fear. I stood tall. Heart pounding. Yeah. Mom. It's real. He makes me happy. Silence stretched. Then she pulled me into a hug. Trembling. I just want you safe. This town's not kind. Her reluctant acceptance was a fragile bridge. But Dad's rage exploded via voicemail next morning. Heard the rumors. Disgrace. Don't make me come back. The threat loomed. Gake and tension coiling tight. Alex and I clung closer. Our love a defiant flame. But cracks showed sleepless nights. Arguments born of fear. We could run. He urged one dawn. Packing phantom bags. Now. Temptation burned. But roots held Mom's quiet support. My half-built dreams. Not yet. I pleaded. Let's fight for this life. The standoff simmered. Climax building like thunderheads over the bayou. Thunder broke 2 weeks later. A literal storm mirroring the one inside. Rain lashed the windows as Dad's truck roared up uninvited, skidding to a halt in the mud. I met him on the porch. Alex's text, I am here if you need me, burning in my pocket like a talisman. Dad stormed in. Eyes wild. Mom shrinking back in the kitchen doorway. What the hell's going on? Boy. Folks at the plant saying my sons. He choked on the word. Face purpling. A fairy. With that Harper punk. The slur landed like a slap. But fury rose hotter. Gay? Dad. Say it. And yeah, I love him. Unlike you, who couldn't love anyone but yourself. Words I'd bottled for years erupted. Raw and unfiltered. He lunged. Fist raised. But Mom stepped between. Voice steel. Enough. You've lost one son already. Don't lose him for good. He deflated. Shoulders slumping. Rain drumming a dirge outside. He left muttering curses. But the confrontation shattered something. Him. The illusion of family as safety. I bolted to Alex's, pounding the door until he yanked it open, pulling me into the dry warmth of his room. Posters of surf breaks and indie bands wallpapered the space. His bed a rumpled haven. He came at me. I gasped, collapsing against him. Alex held me tight, kisses peppering my hair, my temples, until our mouths met in a desperate clash, bodies seeking solace in friction and familiarity. We made love that night, slow and sacred, rain a symphony against the roof. His hands mapped me with reverence. Whispers of "I love you" weaving through gasps and sighs. Our union a testament to resilience. Afterward, tangled in sheets. Vulnerability peaked. What if he tells everyone? I murmured, tracing the freckles across his chest. Then we burn brighter. Alex replied, fierce. Our story's not his to write. Dawn brought fragile peace. But ripples spread. Jake's crew cornered Alex at the auto shop, where he tinkered part-time. Taunts escalating to shoves. He fought back. Split lip and bruised ribs. Calling me from the ER bench. I'm okay. He lied. Voice steady. But Wyatt. They're coming for us. Fear morphed to resolve. We rallied Mom baking pies for the Harpers as olive branches. Pastor Hale's office a tense summit where his gruff, loves love. Son surprised us both. Small victories stacked. But the real gay can brood at the annual town hoedown. Lights strung over the fairgrounds. Fiddles wailing under stars. Jake and his pack waited in the shadows by the bonfire. Beers fueling bravado. As Alex and I swayed to a slow tune. Hands linked defiant. They closed in. Faggots think they own the dance floor. Jake sneered. Breath sour. Fists flew mine connecting with his jaw. Alex tackling another chaos erupting in grunts and dust. Bystanders pulled us apart. But the damage etched deep. Bruises blooming like badges. Sheriff's deputy old family friend hauled us aside. Warnings stern but eyes kind. Go home. Boys. Town's changing slower than you'd like. We limped away. Bloodied but unbroken. Mom waiting with ice packs and quiet pride. That night, under the magnolia, Alex stitched my cut brow with clumsy care. Worth it? He asked, voice thick. Every scar. I whispered, pulling him close. Our kiss tasted of copper and triumph. Romance rekindled in adversity's forge. Yet doubt lingered. Could love withstand the town's slow thaw? Or would it demand we flee? Fleeing whispered like a siren's call in the weeks that followed. The hoedown brawl rippling through Millwood like a stone in a pond. Whispers turned to stares at the grocery. Checkout lines buzzing when we stocked up together. Alex's hand brushing mine over the cart, a quiet insurrection. Mom fortified our front. Her church ladies circle fracturing as she defended us with recipes and resolve. My boy's heart is pure. Judge that. Her evolution from tentative ally to fierce guardian mended fractures I'd thought permanent. Her hugs now laced with "I'm proud" that healed deeper than words. Alex's aunt, Evelyn, thawed slower. Her bridge club gossip a barrier. But his persistence wore her down. Dinners at their table grew from awkward silences to tentative questions. So, Wyatt, basketball still your fire? We'd share stories. Laughter easing tensions. Evelyn's eyes softening over pie. Reminds me of my brother. She'd say of Alex's dad. Regret shadowing her. Wish he'd learned sooner. Our love deepened in the quiet victories, lazy Sundays, fixing the Jeep's carburetor. Grease-streaked fingers intertwining. Midnight picnics by the river. Fireflies are confetti as we dreamed aloud of Portland lofts or Austin gigs. Places where flags flew proud. Romance wove through the mundane. Him surprising me with a leather-bound journal for my scribbled poems. Pages filling with verses of blue eyes and stolen breaths. Me coaching his jump shot until it arced perfect. Cheers echoing our private triumphs. But Kitch Tin reignited when Dad resurfaced. Not with rage, but a crumpled envelope shoved under the door divorce papers. Final as a full stop. With a note, sort your mess. Don't repeat mine. Guilt twisted. But clarity followed. His chaos wasn't mine to carry. I burned the note in the backyard fire pit. Alex at my side. Flames dancing reflections in his eyes. To new beginnings. He toasted with stolen bourbon. Our kiss sealing the ash. Climax crested unexpectedly at the county gym's charity tournament. My old team's invite a test. Coach Ramirez, grizzled and fair, clapped my shoulder. Show him what you're made of. Kid. Alex in the bleachers. His presence a talisman. Nerves steadied me. The court felt like home again. Sneakers squeaking familiar. The ball an extension of will. We dominated. My crossovers slicing defenses. Dunks thundering applause, but midway. Jake's crew heckled from the crowd. Queer show. Slurs slithered. Crowd murmuring. Rage surged. But Alex's gaze anchored me steady. Loving. I channeled it into the game. Sinking the buzzer beater for the win. Roar deafening. Post-game. Jake blocked the exit. Posse flanking. Think you're heroes. He spat. Fists clenched. But coach stepped in. Voice gravel. Enough. This town's bigger than your hate. Jake backed down. Glare venomous. But the moment shifted, spectators nodding approval. A quiet tide turning. After. In the locker room shadows. Alex waited. Towel draped and beaming. My champion. Our embrace turned fervent. Lockers rattling softly. Passion a release of pent tension. I can't lose this. I breathed against his neck. Us. He pulled back. I serious. You won't. But Wyatt. My aunt's selling. Job offer in Nashville for me. Come with. The offer hung. Romantic fork in the road, stay and fight the fading hostilities. Or chase horizons together. Heart tour. Visions clashing. Mom's proud smile versus unknown streets hand in hand. Give me time. I begged. The drama of choice coiling tight. Nights blurred in debate. His head on my pillow. Arguments dissolving into lovemaking that blurred edges. Bodies affirming what words fumbled. Decision loomed as autumn leaves turned. Millwood's grip loosening, but not gone. Love demanded courage, stay. Or soar. Autumn's chill seeped in, mirroring the crossroads chill in my bones. Leaves crunching underfoot like unanswered questions. Alex's Nashville prospect dangled a graphic design gig at a queer-friendly firm. Apartments with views of the Cumberland. A life unapologetic. We could start fresh, he'd say, sketching floor plans on diner napkins. His artist's hand capturing balconies where we'd sip coffee at dawn. The romance of reinvention pulled. Vivid as his touch tracing my spine in bed. Promises murmured in the afterglow. But Millwood's tendrils clung Mom's garden, now blooming with her resilient zinnias. The gym where kids eyed me with tentative awe. Whispers shifting from scorn to that guy who stood up. Even Pastor Hale invited us to a youth panel on inclusive faith. His awkward earnestness a bridge. Staying meant tending these roots. Proving love could flourish in reluctant soil. Leaving. A leap of faith. Romantic but raw. Abandoning the fight half won. Drama peaked at Thanksgiving. Dad's obligatory visit a powder keg. Table set with turkey and tension. Mom's eyes pleading peace. He arrived sober. "Ty ask you." Gaze skittering from me to the empty chair. Small talk stuttered football scores. Weather until Evelyn's invite brought Alex. Pie in hand. His smile a shield. Dad's fork paused midair. Him. The air thickened. Pulse thundering. Mom intervened soft. "Family. Now." But Dad's voice rose. Old venom surfacing. "Ruining my boy." Alex met his stare even. Voice calm, "Sir. I love him." "That's not ruin, it's redemption." The word hung. Biblical weight. And something fractured in Dad's eyes, regret. Perhaps recognition of his own failures. He stormed out mid-meal. Plate clattering. But not before a gruff, "Take care of him," tossed over shoulder. Silence followed. Then Mom's hand on mine. "He's trying. In his way." Tears pricked. Progress. Jagged but real. Alex squeezed my knee under the table. Our secret anchor. Post-feast. We walked the crisp fields. Breath fogging. Confessions flowing. "I want Nashville," I admitted. Wind tousling his hair. "But only if it's us building. Not running." He stopped. Cupping my face. Kiss tender under the harvest moon. "Then we build. Here first. Prove it. Then go when ready." Relief flooded. Decision crystallizing, stay through spring. Solidify gains. Then migrate north. Love our compass. Winter wove intimacy deeper, snowed in nights binging old movies. His laughter warming the cabin fever. Ice skating on the frozen pond. Falls ending in tangled limbs and giggles. Romance bloomed, domestic holiday lights strung fence to fence. Our glow defying the dark. But Gaken flickered when Jake transferred schools. Rumor mill churning a revenge plot, vandalism tags on Alex's Jeep. Slurs keyed into paint. We reported it. Sheriff sympathetic, but stretched thin. Fear nipped. But unity fortified, friends emerging from shadows. A GSA club forming at the high school inspired by our stand. "You're changing things," Coach told me. Pride gruff. The human value shown, love not just surviving, but transforming. Spring teased with dogwoods. Renewal's promise. Alex's job offered deadline loomed. But we'd mapped it summer packing. Fall launch. One evening. Court aglow in sunset. We played our game. Shots swishing clean. Bodies sinking effortless. Mid-dribble. I pulled him close. No ball between. Ready. His grin lit worlds. Born ready. Our kiss sealed it. Not an end, but ignition. Spring's thaw mirrored our unfolding path. Petals unfurling as plans solidified. Morning started with coffee on Alex's porch. Mugs steaming. To-do lists scribbled, apartment hunts via laptop. Savings pooled from my tournament coaching gigs and his shop overtime. The romance felt epic, no mixtapes evolving to shared playlists. Songs of journeys queuing for the drive north. Surprise dates to Birmingham's hidden speakeasies, where we danced slow under low lights. Bodies pressed in unjudged rhythm. Mom embraced the shift, helping pack boxes with stories of her own youthful dreams deferred. "Go live yours," she'd say, hugging tight. Her acceptance a gift profound. Even Dad sent a card stiff and signed, but with a check for the road. No apology, but the gesture cracked his armor, hinting at mending. Evelyn threw a send-off barbecue, her toast slurring sentimental, to loves that weather storms. Laughter flowed, neighbors mingling wary but warm, the town's pulse quickening toward inclusion. Yet Kitchton lingered in farewells. Jake's shadow resurfaced at the last game I coached, his glare from the stands a final barb. But when my kids won, he slunk away silent, no confrontation. Just the quiet defeat of time. He'll come around, Alex murmured post-victory, arms wrapping me in the empty gym. Echoes of cheers fading. Our lovemaking there was urgent. Celebratory benches hard against my back. His name a chant. Release a catharsis purging old ghosts. Packing unearthed treasures, Dad's old playbook. Margins scrawled with encouragements I'd forgotten. Alex's sketchbook. Pages devoted to Uzmi mid-jump shot. Fierce and free. Our story, he said, flipping through. Eyes soft. Tears welled. The human arc arched beautiful from isolation slam to connection swish. Value in vulnerability's power to heal. Climax crested not in fury, but flood deluge hitting move day. Roads slick as eels. Truck loaded. Rain sheeting. Mom waved from the porch. Evelyn beside. Figures blurring in the downpour. We idled at the town line. Alex's hand in mine. Regrets? He asked. Wipers slashing. None. I leaned over. Kissed salt tanged. Then gunned it north. Miles unspooled. Alabama fading to Tennessee hills. Nashville's skyline rising like promise. The drive was our Odyssey pit stops for greasy diners. Debates over radio stations. Laughter stitching the seams. We arrived soaked but soaring. Keys to a loft with river views clutched like talismans. Unpacking amid pizza boxes. We collapsed on the bare floor. City hum our lullaby. Home, Alex whispered. Head on my chest. I traced his jaw. Heart full. Yeah. With you. Months blurred into rhythm, his designs gracing queer mags. My coaching remote via Zoom. Weekends exploring pride parades rainbowing streets. Cafes where hands held open. Letters from home chronicled growth, mom dating a kind widower. Dad's AA meetings. Jake's apology note scrawled awkward. Change rippled outward. Our love the stone. 1 year on. Anniversary dawn. We returned to Millwood Court waiting. Ball pebbled fresh. We played. Shots true. Ending not in score, but embrace. Kiss under oaks eternal. Best game ever. Alex grinned. I laughed. Free. Love's win, not perfection, but persistence. Humanity in the heart's unyielding hoop. The loft's windows framed Nashville's pulse barges gliding the Cumberland like lazy dreams. Honky-tonk neon flickering promises after dark. Our life wove seamless, mornings tangled in sheets. His sleepy kisses pulling me from sleep. Evenings sketching side by side. My poems beside his art. Creations birthing from shared muse. Romance matured. Less wildfire. More hearth notes tucked in lunch bags. Thinking of your laugh. Spontaneous twirls in the kitchen to vinyl spins. Flour-dusted dances ending in giggles and grapples against counters. Challenges came gentle now, His firm's crunched deadlines stealing hours. My remote coaching glitching over spotty Wi-Fi. But we navigated with grace. Date nights, mandatory rooftop picnics under stars. Toasts to us against the odds. The human warmth deepened. Alex's vulnerability in panic attacks. Me holding him through breaths. Whispering affirmations till calm returned. You're my safe harbor, he'd say after. Gratitude's glow illuminating. Home ties strengthened. Summer visits to Millwood. Mom's zinnias taller. Her new beau grilling with shy charm. Dad joined once. Conversation halting but healing talk of his sobriety. A gruff, proud of you. Son, over coffee. Eyes averted but sincere. Jake even showed at a backyard barbecue. Handshake firm. Words mumbled, sorry. Man. Was scared of my own shit. Forgiveness flowed easy. Value in Grace's quiet power. Pride that June was Revelation Parade floats exploding color. Our hands linked amid cheers. Strangers' hugs affirming. We marched for the boys we'd been. Hidden and hurting. Tears mixing with rainbows. Back home. Lovemaking post-march was worship bodies painted in glitter remnants. Touches reverent. Climax a symphony of cries and sighs. Love's anthem. Autumn brought ambition's bloom, my poetry chapbook accepted. Alex's exhibit solo. Launch night. Gallery buzzing. We stood amid admirers. His arm my anchor. A piece titled Dribble hung centrum abstracted in motion. Energy captured. Our origin. He explained to a collector. Pride swelling my chest. Winter's hush, gifted reflection, fireside journals. Dreams voiced adopting a rescue pup. Travels to coastal cliffs where he'd surf again. Me courtside. Drama dusted light a car breakdown, stranding us in snow. Laughter turning to huddles and motels. A freelance dry spell testing patience. But unity prevailed. Budgets balanced with borrowed strength. Spring circled back. Anniversary 2. Road trip retracing our route. Stopping at that quarry for a dip. Clothes shed to echoes of first times. Water cold. Embrace warm. We floated. Futures murmured. Kids someday. He mused. Fingers lacing mine. Yeah. A family. Our rules. Millwood called again. Poured our ritual. Shots swished. But the real score was etched deeper scars faded to stories. Love's legacy in changed lives. GSA thriving. Pastor Hale's sermons inclusive. Mom's garden a metaphor for growth. Under the magnolia. Now vast. We sat. All between. From one kiss to this. Alex said. Voice wondrous. I pulled him close. Lips meeting soft. And endless encores. The hook that started it all balls thud. Fences Creek had spun a tale of courage. Connection. The profound truth, love. In all its forms. Scores the heart's eternal win.